Millions in Texas and Australia are waking up to a jarring reality. Try to load major adult websites, and your connection is immediately blocked. Instead of a homepage, visitors find a stark error message stating the site is not currently accepting new account registrations in your region. The sudden cutoff is the direct result of strict new government mandates. Lawmakers are requiring tech platforms to verify the exact age of their users, usually by making them upload a government-issued ID or processing a credit card check. To enforce compliance, regulators have attached severe financial penalties to these rules. In Australia, platforms that fail to run these background checks face fines of up to 49.5 million Australian dollars per breach. The current wave of enforcement began in the United States, taking effect in Texas in March of 2024. 2 years later, by March of 2026, Australian legislators adopted a near-identical blueprint, rolling out nationwide blocks. Policies drafted specifically to keep adult content away from minors ended up dictating how millions of everyday adults are allowed to navigate the global internet. Rather than comply with the new verification laws, the world's largest adult entertainment conglomerates are refusing to build the required infrastructure. Companies like ALO argue that forcing platforms to collect driver's licenses and passports requires them to construct a highly sensitive database linking verified legal identities to private viewing habits. Holding that volume of sensitive data creates an enormous cybersecurity risk. In 2015, hackers breached the dating site Ashley Madison and leaked the deeply private data of millions of users onto the dark web. To avoid building these massive data honeypots, platforms are deploying a simpler countermeasure. They use geo-blocking, a technology that restricts access based on a user's geographic location, to entirely lock out visitors from states and countries with active age verification laws. Because the platforms will not build the systems to securely verify age, internet users who want access are left with only one option. They have to figure out how to bypass the geographic blocks themselves. The immediate consumer response to these regional blocks has been a massive surge in the adoption of virtual private networks, or VPNs. A VPN routes a user's connection through an external server. It encrypts the data and assigns a new, foreign IP address. By masking their real location with a spoofed IP address, users appear to be browsing from a different country, instantly bypassing localized digital borders. This chart shows the demand for VPN services in Texas. Immediately following the implementation of the state's age verification law, you can see a sudden 234.8% upward spike in VPN downloads and searches. The exact same behavioral pattern emerged in Australia in March 2026. Within days of the age checks going live, privacy apps like Proton VPN and NordVPN shot to the very top of the iOS and Android App Store charts. By attempting to fence off specific websites, regional governments have effectively trained millions of mainstream users to install and operate advanced encrypted privacy tools on their personal devices. The mass public adoption of VPNs has escalated the conflict. What started as a niche workaround has now become a primary target for lawmakers trying to enforce their geographic borders. Authorities are pivoting. Instead of just focusing on the platforms hosting the adult content, they are beginning to draft regulations aimed directly at the privacy software itself. In the United Kingdom, for instance, members of the House of Lords have formally proposed mandatory age gating requirements for anyone attempting to download or use a VPN. Similarly, Australia's e-Safety Commissioner has issued regulatory guidance pushing internet service providers and platforms to actively detect and block VPN traffic to prevent users from bypassing the rules. Regulating VPNs carries severe secondary risks. These are the exact same digital safety tools relied upon by investigative journalists and major international businesses, as well as everyday citizens, to secure their private data on public networks. A narrow, targeted effort to place age gates in front of adult websites has expanded into a high-stakes legislative battle over encryption, data privacy, and the foundational architecture of the open internet.